Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Gather Community Creator Spotlight, where today we have one of our very original creators because we've known each other for years. Today we have Sonia Lee from Cosmos Chic Designs here in Santa Cruz. Not only has she been a friend for several years because we network and community together, but we're also neighbors. She lives just a couple of miles away. I've been to her studio. It's amazing. And we have been here in the Gather community together since it started way back in 2020. So Sonia, I'm so glad that you're here again. I can't wait for us to talk about how things have changed in your business. 2 years ago, we began and you were focusing on a lot of already made things that you had kind of carried in your studio, but you're starting to shift gears to a new direction. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hi, my name is Sonia Lee. I'm with Cosmos Chic Designs, and I'm excited to be back here to let you know what's happening in my business. I keep growing and morphing and doing, fine tuning the business.
Yes.
So a couple of things that I'm working on right now is custom gifts, so personalized gifts for business or personal, which are super fun. So people can actually give me a call and we can discuss what gift they are looking to get for their business or for a personal gift, and I can see if I can help them with that. And then, so that's exciting because it's fun to do this crafting, this is creating things.
You know what's really interesting is I remember when we first met, it's been like 4 years now, back when our polka dot chapter started actually. And I think one of the first things that I saw that you'd made was a custom embroidered denim jacket for someone to use that had their branding on it for their business. That I don't know if they were wearing it or if they were giving it to an employee or a team member or something, but it was incredible. Like, it's not the kind of thing that you see every day, that level of customization and quality.
It isn't, and the denim jackets or the leather jackets are my favorites. I've had people come in wanting their own artwork put on the jackets. So I can customize that, but then if it's out of their price range, we can adjust it to try and fit within a budget. So I am flexible a little bit on that. And I can help people.
Because it would be different between like the whole back piece of a jacket versus maybe something on the front versus maybe something on a hat, or all of the different ways that they could have their artwork or their logos come to life.
Yeah, and so, it's a lot of fun with all the different projects I can do. I've been doing etched glass, which is super fun. So there's different things I can do. My newest thing that I've been doing is digital business cards.
Digital business cards. So talk about that. Yeah.
So it's a plastic card with an NFT tag, I believe it's called. So you can scan it up against someone's phone and it'll pop up with all your information.
Ooh, interesting.
So if you have a link tree, if you don't, I can create one for you and link it to your card that I then send you. So you can just, at networking, you can just scan the card and it'll pop up with your meetings, how you can book, how you can get paid, and what you offer. So there's different ways to do that.
And that can probably link to any web. Whoa, do you hear that echo? Is it just me?
It's just you.
Okay, good. I don't hear it now. I'm gonna manage my volume. It can probably be any website, right? You mentioned Linktree, but like for me, I have just a links page on my website. It'd probably be that too, right?
So you can just link it to a web page, link it to a QR code. I can also do keychains. So you have your business card on a keychain.
Interesting.
So that's a fun thing I've been dabbling in, which is fun.
That's so cool because in-person networking is starting to come back, right? Everyone's kind of getting back, and there's not a lot of desire to have a lot of exchange of things. So you can just, that's really cool. I hadn't heard of that.
I find that even with me, most of the business cards people give me, they end up in a drawer in a pile.
Yes.
And as opposed to me scanning a card and then they can just get my information, they can book an appointment with me. They can go to my website. They can go to all the things I do. If they need to send me money, there's my PayPal. It's all there.
Right. Yeah. So. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. We're going to have to talk more about that because that's really interesting. you should make sure that all of your other maker friends are familiar with that, especially if they can be like a link to their Venmo or something on there. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Awesome. Okay. So, and I know, we'll just say you're working on a project for me that I'm really excited. You mentioned etched glass, and then you do lots of other crafty things. Obviously, you talked about the embroidery, you're a seamstress and designer and all of these different things. If you're focusing more on custom gifts, let's talk a little bit more about like the different ways that you can create something for someone who comes to you. It's like, I don't know what I want to give my 30 clients or my 100 clients, but what are some options?
So when someone comes to me and asks, because I just had someone call me yesterday, and I asked them what their budget is. So you need to know what your budget is per item. If you want something to be light to be mailed, or if you don't mind it being heavy, like a mug or something like that, then I go from there, I go and give them options. But we can do the personalized keychains. I do resin work as well. So there's different options for resin work that, like earrings, necklaces and things like that. So it all depends if you want your branding on it as well. So then I talk to you about how you want it branded, or if it's just a personal gift, how you want it personalized.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, because I think that people, starting with the budget sounds like the perfect way to begin. And I'm sure that, my guess would be that people come with grandiose ideas and don't realize how expensive things that are customized can be, because they're one of a kind, right?
Yes. And I have found that they're like, oh, I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to do this elaborate thing
right
for my budget. So that's why that's my first question is, what is your budget?
Yeah.
So that I can at least try and keep it in your budget so that you don't bust your bank.
Right. Well, or give them an idea of, okay, well, what you're looking at might be, $20 a piece. But if you're really looking for $14 a piece, like I could do this in this way and get it to 16, but if it's 14, we really are going to have working with them one-on-one to really develop that, especially for business clients, because it is a business. We do have to watch that bottom line. A little different, maybe with a personal, one-off kind of thing. Great. Well, I love that. And I love that you're focusing on that, as an entrepreneur, it's something that I think about with, especially it's July, but the end of the year is coming upon us and things take time to make. So the project that you're working on for me, I know we talked about it being something that I can use over time, but specifically for my December situation or going into the holiday time frame. And, people, I think, need to, in business, we recognize a little bit more that there's lead times related to things. If you try to order something from a bigger company, it's always like, oh, is this a 2-day turnaround? Is this a 1-week turnaround? But when you're talking about a custom thing made especially for you that no one else will ever have, it could be 3, 4, 6, 10 weeks, depending on your volume and the difficulty, right?
Yes. So it is based on how many pieces I would need to make. So we do discuss that on our first call as well. It's like, how soon do you need it? How many do you need?
And what's your budget?
And what's your budget?
Yeah. Awesome. And it really helps people maybe who are moving into doing those kinds of gifts for the first time to understand what they're getting into and what to expect going forward. So I love that you have that custom, you have that personal consultation with the person so they can learn too, right? Especially if they've never gone that direction. Cool. Well, let me shift gears and ask you about some pet projects. I want to hear about some of the latest kind of fun things that you've been working on that just showcases your abilities.
So I've been working on your project, which is the mugs and the cups. But I've also
no details. No one gets to know in advance.
So I'm also doing a leather jacket for a gentleman that belongs to the Hells Angels, awesome. Where basically I'm making his jacket bigger. So I'm making his leather jacket bigger, which is super fun, very detailed project. And then the
So did
last
you
time.
have to like source leather that would match up and like that's
Yes.
complicated? It's probably an older jacket.
It is an older jacket, but it's not as thick as some of the other leather that I've worked with before, which is, I don't like working with it because it's
Yeah.
super thick in my machine.
Mhm.
But this one is a little easier and there's only one layer, whereas some of the other jackets are 2 layers of leather.
Mhm.
So he gave me a bit of leeway to kind of do whatever I
Just
think
make
would
it look
fit.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I've been doing the summer camps over the summer, which have been
Oh, yeah.
so much fun.
So obviously it's in person this year, thankfully,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So we're really talking about local people, but talk a little bit about that because it's kind of a new back again thing post-COVID.
So for my summer camps, and pretty much for any of my sewing classes, I work a little different to some of the other companies in Santa Cruz, where I ask the clients that are going to be taking the classes, what do you want to get out of the lesson? Have you done sewing before? Are you a complete beginner? And then I customize a lesson around that.
Nice.
And what do you want to make? Because I find that if I say, oh, you're going to make pants, you're going to make a skirt, and the person I told that's going to make pants doesn't wear pants, they only wear skirts.
Right.
And then you waste your money, or you're never going to wear it. So that's why I try and customize it to each student. So even with my summer camps, if I have I can only do 4 students. Each student will be doing something different, but I will be teaching them the basics on how to construct, how to read the patterns. And then I do the adult classes as well, which I have the Bitch and Stitch on Friday nights, where you can actually just bring alterations and learn how to do alterations or learn how to use your sewing machine.
That's really great because, that's really great because the average adult like me, I know how to sew, but I don't necessarily know how to alter things for myself, measure correctly, where to make changes so that they show up less. Like that's a huge skill to teach someone. That's really cool.
It's a lot of fun. I've had someone that had a 4-year project that was sitting in a box, and she came and finished the project with me and then gave it to someone for Christmas.
Nice. That's so good. And you're right about the whole like people choosing what they want to make, because not everyone, especially here in Santa Cruz, right? There's a lot of individuality. And so I know that during COVID, you were considering doing things online, but it's harder because, with sewing is a hands-on thing. So I'm so glad that you're able to get back in person and do that again.
Yes, it's been so much fun. And I have students from my arts academy that I teach at Mission Hill that have joined my summer camp, the middle school. So they've joined my summer camp next week. So
great.
It'll be fun to see them and teach them.
Yeah, a little more one-on-one too, because I would imagine that was a larger group of people.
Yes, it gets a little crazy for the fashion teens.
Yeah, super great. Well, awesome. So, okay. So we talked about custom gifts and custom stuff. We talked about some of your other skills. Is there any other things you want to touch on? You've got even more things that you do. You've got DIY kits on your website sometimes. And I mean, things rotate in and out through the seasons, but talk a little bit more about kind of what else.
So I do have a couple of DIY kits on my website. I have the gnomes that you can adjust to the season. But I also do the skincare, anti-aging and wellness. And the company that I partner with, that they actually came out with an app that does AI. So you can take your picture and it'll tell you what they recommend for your skin. So I haven't had anybody want to use it yet. So if anybody wants a consultation, they can definitely reach out to me and we can just do a free consultation where you can use the app and we can.
Interesting. Well, that's really interesting. Yeah, let's check that out. Maybe I'll be one of your guinea pigs. Let's give that a shot. Well, good. Well, let's make sure to put that in the notes here in the description here on YouTube. because that's the easiest way I know to reach you, is to like go through that link for inquiry, or obviously you've got your website, Facebook links, all that stuff. So however you want people to be able to reach you, let's make sure we'll put that in the description. And people are going to see this starting at the end of July. So it's perfect time to learn a little bit about your anti-aging and wellness products, about getting ready for gifts for the upcoming holiday season or the fall. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to share this with all of our community members. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
I think that's it. But, you know, if you are looking for gifts and you need gift baskets, I do have options in my studio. I do virtual. So if you're not local, I can take you on a tour of my studio, and
you just like do it on
Mm-hmm.
FaceTime or on Zoom, and just like show these earrings are over here, and this thing is over here, and the mugs are over here, and the skirts are over here, and all the different things that you have.
So it's a lot of fun doing the virtual shopping with somebody. So that is an option for people who are not local.
That would be fun. And there's always in-person events happening down at the tannery where you're located. We've been a few times already this year, and I'm sure that there's stuff coming up, especially going into the fall and into the holidays. So again, even if you don't have a need right now, be sure to connect with Sonia, because you're going to want to know. Come on down to Santa Cruz and enjoy time with all of us who end up congregating together down at her studio when there's a live event, or just get a chance to meet one-on-one and find out how Sonia can help with what you got going on.
Perfect.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much again for being here, and of course for being part of the Gather community. I am super grateful that you are here and have been here for so long, and we love having you be a part of our world. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.